from the first games from the Crazyhouse World Championship 2020. This is a match we've all been looking forward to. Simba7, the FM from the Netherlands, young teenager, very talented chess player, against IgorBugMate. And just to scroll to the beginning of game one, e4, d5, so Simba is going for the Scandi. He's giving up a second pawn, so he's going for activity. Oh, interesting line. So bishop here takes. He could take the bishop, but then he loses this and has a very open king. So interesting line. He goes here instead, so the pawn is pinned. Bishop takes, knight takes, the pawn is still pinned. Queen takes, pawn takes. Pawn f7. Really? Just giving away a pawn just to get the king out? That's a mistake, I feel, because white doesn't have the pieces to follow it up. Knight there is dangerous because it's threatening to come in here, and queen here is close to mating. I can't quite see the mate. Yeah, that's the mate. So queen f7, knight takes e6, queen here, and queen takes would be mate. So there's a threat, and at f6 is absolutely the right move. Just stops the threat, and black is fine. Yeah, the thing about this move, it's okay, but this is a weakness, and Igor correctly identifies the weakness, hits on the weakness, and so yeah, castles, rook here, so he's trying to further cement this square. That's good. Knight f5, again, this feels good. This feels very strong. The one key thing that he needs to get his bishop out, though, that's the problem. So he is losing this pawn on c7. That's the only thing. Sorry, just from the beginning again. So I feel f7 is very aggressive from IgorBugMate. A bit too aggressive. And in this position, bishop takes c7 seems fine. Was there a reason to rush into the attack? Okay, he does rush into the attack. Two pawns for the piece. That's reasonable. He still hasn't developed this bishop on c8, but yeah, black is safe. Takes, rook takes. Yeah, completely fine. Bishop takes knight, and the thing is, knight at h3 is mating. Oh, and that actually happened in the game. Knight takes. Knight at h3. I'll just show on the second board. Simba wins the first game with the classic trick. Knight at h3. Knight at h3. It's a smothered mate. If you take the knight, queen at g2 is checkmate. So we see 16 spectators on Lichess, many familiar names from the Crazyhouse world: Deadban, Chess Guy 2, PKR 5025, Legion Destroyer, GSVC, Clearcast, Opperwazen, WGM Nurgul, I haven't heard of, The Finisher, myself, Katas, Mugwort, Rightline 3127, I haven't heard of, Variants Only, White Dancing Rockstar, and Anonymous. So like all of those guys I've heard of, apart from the ones I said. So well done, Simba, taking the first game. Deadban says, how didn't he see it? Indeed. GSVC, I told him about this yesterday. Plan is win first game with black and then force white to go 9-0. I see. Kata says, I never analysed this line. Me too, I just don't remember it. Opways and Queen E3 is still booked. So just to go back, Crazy Home ZH in the Twitch chat says, and we are here on your stream. Yeah, that's cool. Cool to have you all with us. So I missed the first few moves, so let's just see them again. It's an E4, E5 game, Knight F3, a Bishop E7 line, okay. Takes, attacks the queen, pushes forward here, this, and backs off. So you're losing this pawn. I have seen this before. The idea is you are losing this pawn, but there's a very dangerous pin on the king. So d5, counterattack, backs off. So he's hoping to win that piece. He does win the piece, takes the check, takes the piece. So he lost his central pawn, but he's not going to commiserate too much because he's won a piece for that pawn. So yeah, as Oppa says, that is a theoretical idea. GSVC says, I have games with JK in this. Right line, is this match important? Yes, it's CWC. We have the future winner of the CWC playing here, says Variants Only. And GSVC says, my theory is 2018 theory. Katask has 2020 theory. And Mugwort asking, okay, so yeah, very nicely played by Simba, getting the extra piece. And that's the thing I think That's the way in which I think IgorBugMate might suffer. I feel he's a very strong defensive player, but he attacks quite hard and expends pieces in a sort of Bughouse style. This is interesting, but it's more a case of just getting your pieces on the board. Oh, ooh, nice move. So you're attacking the queen, attacking g7, and attacking this bishop. So it's almost forcing bishop takes bishop just to clear out this threat. So just to check, so yeah, since I'm hearing people on the Twitch, I'm assuming people can hear me fine. Oh, this is interesting. He's really, this is very interesting. So he's going for, if knight takes queen, bishop takes queen, and you can't take that bishop because queen at e2 would be mate. So that's a very, very dangerous little idea there. Yeah, I hadn't seen this. There is just simply knight takes g7 though. Just knight takes g7, check, and then decide what to do later. But then you still have a problem with your queen. Like, you could have gone knight takes... There is an idea of knight takes g7, king f8, and then queen g3. That's very tempting. And then the threat, of course, is just like knight e6, check. No, that doesn't work, because takes and the queen will provide... It's not so clear. Okay, and this is... Look at the geometry of this, going from here to here to here, and all the while you're guarding this pawn on e5. This is lethal. You're taking a rook as well, and you're coming in on the back rank, so this is really crushing play from Simba. Let's give him some props. And if anyone's listening to this, just do hop in on the Discord House Party channel. I would appreciate your company here. So Simba to play. So why has he played Queen e6? I think it's just, oh, I see. It's very simple. You can't take, it's not, Igor is full of tricks. If queen takes rook, queen takes knight, he wants queen takes pawn, king d1 at e2 checkmate. I don't think that's good enough. So queen takes rook, queen takes knight with check. You're going to have a rook in hand, so there's knight f6, rook at e8 mating ideas. So queen takes rook is strong here. No reason not to go for it. Queen takes rook, queen takes knight check. What can he do? King here would run into knight f6, king here. It's very hard to see this not as not being mating in some way. I can't see the mate already, but he'd thought for an awful long time and then plays at g4. He should have just gone for it. Was that a disconnect? Simba in the tank. Flagging is the worst move. Simba is a tank. It's not awful, because this rook is always dead, but queen takes rook was incredibly strong there. I'll show quickly after the game. Okay, very solid defensive move. He just worried about bishop takes f2. This bishop, I forgot this bishop. This position is more precarious than it looks, because these bishops are dangerous. And with only 3 seconds on the clock, yeah, this is dangerous. Queen e2 is a mate threat. Okay, he just blocks it. Queen takes c2, just castles. So he guards against knight e2 check of any kind. You can just backtrack. Yeah, I think the main problem is time. I can't see anything forcing. Chuck Moulton just subscribed. Thanks so much for the 16 months. That's incredible. I didn't even know I've been going that long. White resigned because bishop takes pawn, queen takes rook. But this is a sad loss in a way. So just to quickly show, I'll try and avoid looking at the openings. Just go straight into what really mattered. So we're looking from White's perspective. So at this point, so bishop c5 is a nice move, and I was thinking knight takes g7, king here, and queen g3. Queen g3. It turns out there are other moves. But after this, queen takes g7, incredibly strong. Why not queen takes rook? Okay, so I am actually wrong, because bishop takes f2 is actually lethal, because if king here, pawn here, is mate, so I really didn't appreciate the complexity of this attack, and queen takes knight is actually mating, because black has a knight in hand. Knight at g4, king to e1, it's just going to be two diagonals to mate, and if you step up, to simply at e4 is mate. So I really didn't quite appreciate the danger of this attack. Wow. So white is completely winning, but has to play some defensive moves. So knight at d4, for example. The way he played was also interesting, but and now so here now queen takes rook apparently is fine, although just it seems dangerous. So if this, then this. No, sorry, the knight's defended. What am I talking about? Bishop takes pawn. Yeah, black doesn't have the pieces for a sack just yet. Okay, so IgorBugMate did have some dangerous ideas that game, which I didn't appreciate. So it's 1 game all, and we're now into game 3. And I'm hearing a Clearcast is streaming this as well. Okay, so I didn't realize that. And so this continues. Develops the bishop. So it's a quite solid position. Fairly nasty fork. Takes here, takes the queen. Okay, and probably takes g7. No. Yeah. Takes. It's interesting that they've got 3 choices. Which one is the best? It's hard to say. Simba7-IgorBugMate says, "Go Simba! I bet my life's earnings on you." Okay, so Simba to move, black to move. Kala says, B takes f6 has to be played. So why is that? I think he meant bishop takes f6. Yeah. So not b takes f6. So b takes f6 opens up the g7 square. Interesting. So takes. He sacks the queen. If you take the queen, I mean, this knight here going back. There isn't any mate, but okay. So there was no mate for either side in that position, because the bishop was providing cover. It's a slightly precarious position. Free pawn. Yeah, so white missed the pawn here. Okay, so Simba's, what's he going for? So ideas of knight here and maybe just promote is something slightly annoying. If black had more pawns at f3, that's true as well. So knight here, yeah, it's not so clear now. You've only got 1 knight, but knight here, promote, takes. You haven't quite got it. So knight here, we're thinking of the promote, takes, knight takes queen, rook here, block. It's not quite enough, is it? He's going for this line, and okay, you don't even need to think about that because this is happening. Queen here, check. Is he going to come up and run the knight? Well, what else can he do actually? He can either block or take that knight. And if he takes the knight, bishop here is probably coming, but then there's just simply block. Simply block. So he does take the knight. Black is sort of a little bit out of material. Is the problem. Oh, bishop takes this way as well. That's okay, he's got another pawn, that's interesting. That's an interesting find. But how to continue? It's just slightly running out of material. Takes. King takes. Could use this pawn, could bring a rook in. don't quite see it. He's got two pawns, but don't quite see it. Pawn here. Oh yeah, this is also interesting. Just to create weaknesses on b2. So if yeah, it does pose challenges. Just definitely does pose challenges. Like there, you're throwing away a lot of material. Like what for? In the meantime, there's always this threat of knight h6 takes, knight f6 picking up the queen. This is what you're having to deal with. And you can't ignore it, because knight h6, anything else, there's queen h8, queen takes f7, or queen g8, smothered mate on f7. Okay, so he protects f6 with the knight. This is, yeah, this is reasonable actually. I don't see. Katas says king e1 was maybe the safest, running to f1 maybe. Yeah, because here knight. This is a mate threat. What? That's it's not a mate threat. I just for a second I thought that was mate, but the king can run to c4. I got overexcited. What is the plan here? He's throwing a lot of pawns, but what is the plan? Okay, so the king runs back. It is mate with knight c5. So you have to be careful. You do have to take or do something. I don't know why he just doesn't take it though. That taking seemed fine. Now, that king is so close to being mated. So it's just like, why? How do I mate it? It's only 4 seconds on the clock. I don't see it though. This is so frustrating. Rook takes pawn. Bishop takes. Take another pawn. Try and use your rook. The king can just keep running. And he flags. Yep, unfortunate. So he goes 1-2 down. Okay. Game 4. So are we going to see a repeat of some bishop e7? The bishop e7 line, and this is what we saw earlier. Seems like we are going to see a repeat of this. And I think this is decent. I think this is decent for white. This is very dangerous. I think this is almost 1-0 already. So why? So why is this so dangerous? I wasn't sure about here. The problem is f7 is weak. So okay, he go knight takes queen, pawn takes queen, and it doesn't quite work. So he just backs off. That's a smart thing to do. So pawn takes bishop and knight takes c7 is one idea. Yeah, GSVC says this can be a quick win. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, I think Simba's got the edge in this opening, even though he did not win the last one. With d5, black opens up the c8 bishop, very important. Okay, that seems to be quite desperate to get. Seems to be quite desperate. Do we just take it? And we're not in danger unless it looks like he wants to just takes and at c2 taking this knight. But even, I mean, bishop takes pawn is perfectly safe. Oh, bishop c3 check. I did not see that one. Is that a thing? But just knight takes. It's clearly not a thing. Of course, you don't want to go queen takes. Yeah. So takes. So the bishop is providing coverage. So this is the very safe option was bishop takes. So was that the idea all along? If pawn takes, knight here, hitting the queen and comes to c2. That was the idea all along, wasn't it? But this is just really nice for white. Just developing a piece, protecting the attacked piece. As long as the mate threat was covered, what's the issue here? So even at e7, just go. It's very direct. Is fine. Probably even stronger is bishop g5. Bishop g5. Black has no blockers. Notice this. So bishop g5 is just a mate threat, straight up. And what can you do? Knight f6? I mean, it's ridiculous. Takes. Okay, bishop g5 is game over here. Bishop g5 is utterly game over. This is also pretty good, to be honest, though. You're hitting the queen and you're threatening mate. So let's see what people say in the chat. Bishop at d8. Whoa. Yeah. So this is good. You've won a queen for a piece. We're still a few moves away from any mate, but black simply doesn't have enough material. So just catching up on some of the chat. Okay, so he moves the knight, and he wants sort of like at here or at here. To be honest, just at e7 seems fine. At e7, very direct. Takes. Then decision time. Do we take here and take here? Seems worth it. Okay, so he goes for the direct approach. There was also pawn here, pawn takes bishop. I think this is more direct because you're threatening mate in one this way. So he has to take again. You're again threatening mate in one. Knight takes, and now we have a choice. Now we do have a choice. So one way is simply just pick up the rook. That seems reasonable. What else could we do? We could also just go at c7, threaten mate here. Knight d6. This also works. Knight d6. So the point is, if he runs this way, we just bishop check, block, and queen e8 is mate. And if he runs this way, then we simply have pawn here check, drag him out. Oh, we don't have this. Ah, the knight is covering. Okay, we have this though. This, and we could just grab the rook and say we're safe. Or what else could we do? Go back again. What else could we do? We go queen, king takes knight. We don't quite have the mate. So he goes back. King here. Have a think. What's the idea? Oh, he has a queen. He has another queen. Okay, he has two queens. Nice mate from Simba. So 2 games all. Game 5. This is turning out to be an intense match as we expected. IgorBugMate is only rated 2067, but he's a strong player. So I think he's going just to try and block off this diagonal. Yeah, so it was quite a nice mate he found there in that last game. There was no need. Was there any need to take the f7 knight? The f7 takes there. Check king there, knight there, check there. If he did queen immediately, rook takes, then knight takes pawn. Yes, see he took the pawn first, which wasn't necessary. That's just trying to get the extra material. Yeah, so he repeated once. And Crazyhouse says he was trying to gain 4 seconds. Okay, so let's actually quickly look back at how's this opening gone. Well, he's lost a pawn, but he was hoping to gain back that piece. It doesn't work. So this is going well for white. What did he play here? Just a very slow move. He's allowing bishop takes f7. Now he has to cut. You'd have thought he has to castle. So very uncomfortable position for black here. I mean, white's almost got too much choice about what to do. Notice this is not worthwhile because after queen takes, bishop f6, and suddenly black has here block. Yeah, I think black has initiative there. So it hasn't started out well, but he's got good pressure on this pawn, and he's being allowed to take it as well. Except he's not being allowed to take it because otherwise queen takes. So castles is now finally a threat on this pawn. What now? He goes straight in. So it's a threat, knight takes queen, winning the queen with check. I think that's too serious to ignore. So the queen has to move. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is clearly going to be good for black actually, because two knights, bishop. What's he going to do? You could just even just sidestep with the rook. Got to make sure knight takes pawn is not a thing. So this is going to be important. Knight at f5. Oh my goodness. Still, I think white just doesn't have anything. Knight h6, king here. Then the knight's in the way because you want to put a pawn on h6. So instead, yeah, so some kind of knight g5 sort of ideas at some point. Knight h6, knight takes f7. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. I guess it's really a defensive move with some attacking intentions on f7. And it's a problem. How are you defending this pawn? Maybe just... No, this is a problem. This queen has also been locked out of the game. Notice with white's last few moves. I mean, we could have gone queen takes pawn, but then we lose a rook and that looks a bit scary. With knight at h7 maybe being dangerous. King here, bishop here, check, king takes knight. I can't see all the way, but so rook here felt like the right move. But here, maybe knight f5 was important, I'm not sure. Knight h4 was played, but okay, he's developed his bishop, which is good, but there's so many dangers in this position. Takes, takes, takes. He's losing a rook with check. That's painful. Promotes. That's going to queen. And you can block, but queen takes f7 is coming. Unless you block with the queen, but then bishop takes f7 is coming. Rook here doesn't work because the queen's actually covering that. Yeah. Is there a mate here? That's the thing. Not sure that there is. So he goes for a bishop. The king is sliding away. Oh, knight. Ouch. That is painful. That's not going to work. He's going to have a trade of queens, and the knight comes in. And he resigns. Yeah. Even if you run up, you have a hook mate. So, IgorBugMate takes game 5, 3-2 lead. And we see a change in opening from black to, because clearly e4, e5 wasn't working for black, so he mixes it up to the French defense. So what do we think here? He's trying to provoke f6. So just running back. I mean, obviously this is like in the French defense, d4 is interesting. Yeah, the problem is bishop at f6. And we've always got a knight on tap whenever we want it. So this is quite dangerous. I think at some point black has to play f6. And yeah, he does go for the f6. It's just as in the French defense. You need to play that f6 move to secure up your dark squares. In this case, he has ideas of developing his queen maybe to the king side, although he's got to watch out always for not. It's all well defended now, but you've got to watch out for knight d7 type forks. Okay, instead, this knight is still doing a great job protecting everything, and so his bishop's also under attack. Just taking on f6 is tempting, because that really just wrecks. Oh, that's a hard sack. He wants knight h5 and then takes f6. Interesting. I mean, I'm not seeing the follow-up. I'm slightly worried Simba's going to run out of material here, but yeah, he's got the h6 square now. But what can he do with it? Knight h6, just simply king h8. I don't see it. Pawn here, rook takes pawn, knight takes rook, queen takes. I'm not seeing. It seems like he has to take on f6 to continue the attack and get pieces along the dark squares. But Katas says this looks good for white. Highlight a task. And Nicholas Seiss says, what stage is this? And Katas answers, this is the first round. Okay, so Simba gone into the tank. This is the first round. This is game 6 of the 2020 Crazyhouse World Championship. In fact, this is actually the 0th round. It's an elimination to decide the 128 players who will be in the double elimination. So it's almost the 0th round in a way. Yeah, so impressively, Igor's the one who's been a little bit more conservative with his pieces. And Simba's been slightly more aggressive. Okay, so he's going for bishop takes knight, but this square is still well defended. So it's like if you had another bishop, you might try. It's just difficult. It's like, how do I get in? Yeah, this is interesting, I have to say. But really solid play from black here. Just covering everything up. I mean, you want knight here, pawn here, but you don't have a pawn even, so it's not clear. Okay, again, I'm actually being impressed by both players' moves. And PKR says this is the real first round. There are only 28 players in the single elimination. Oh, so this is actually This is actually the proper first round, okay, of the double elimination. Yep, that's my mistake. So no wonder it's such an exciting matchup. I mean, this has been very solid. This game has been very solid from IgorBugMate. He's got a 3-2 lead, and he's really playing this in a kind of chessy way, in a way of not giving anything obvious, in a way, not, you know, just slowly consolidating, letting Simba attack him, and just consolidating, which was quite different from how he played, I feel, at the beginning of the match. I feel it's like a slight change in style. Knight takes. This is nasty because knight takes bishop follows. This is just disaster zone. Pawn here. You have to defend, and he doesn't defend, and then it's going to be lights out. Oh, you have to go pawn here. And then rook h, if queen takes, rook h1, king takes, knight takes, queen, all kinds of nasty little ideas. Oh, he's not defended f2. What do you do then? So king here is forced, but then takes the knight, and rook g1 is a threat. So this is rather painful. Rook at g1, takes, and then pawn at g2 coming. Pawn at f2 again coming. If queen takes, rook at h1, king takes, knight takes queen, winning the queen with check, and then you have a mate. So yeah, pawn at f2 is mating here. Pawn f2, queen takes, rook h1, king takes, knight takes queen, king back, queen blocks, and rook in h1 to finish. It's 2 seconds on the clock. It's going to be hard to find a solution, and he doesn't. And the point, if you go either side, just a rook on the back rank checkmates. So the dream is coming to an end for Simba7. IgorBugMate takes a 4-2 lead. But it's the best of 10, so he can still fight back. If he wins the next 4 games, Simba will progress. And we're hearing there's going to be a 5-minute break. So the players have agreed to a 5-minute break. So I don't want to do any opening analysis. What should we do in the 5-minute break? What I'd like to do in the break, maybe I'll have a quick look at the games I missed earlier by Marlon. So against GD Howard. So, and when the action starts again here, okay. So this was game 1 of Marlon against GD Howard, and we see the classic setup. So I'll post the Discord link just in case anyone wants to join the Discord. Let's see. Invite people. Nope. That's not it. Copied. So it's posting this. and I'll post it here. Okay, just sending the link in case anyone wants to join. And now I lost, unfortunately, my window from earlier. Where was that? Mullon against Judy Howard. Okay. Okay, so we're going to look at, in the 5-minute break, let's just quickly have a look at the first few games, and let's look at them from Mullon's perspective. So what went wrong? So as white in game 1, we have this bishop b7. There's a lot of pressure on here, and he's allowed this idea of hitting this knight and then weakening e4. And yeah, we already see he's a pawn down, and this is going to be trouble. If he takes this as knight to h3, knight h3 or knight h4 even, knight h4, threatening knight h3 at g2. This is, but not taking it is even worse, and you just lost a queen, and this is just very unpleasant. And it's just now a grind for black to just grind out the win, and takes a while, but it's going to happen eventually. So game 2, we're seeing a clear pattern then from the games we saw as well. So we have a nice setup. D6, E4, but he goes for he pushes. Okay, so he opens up this file. He doesn't want the bishop to come to this diagonal. Fair enough. Check. Ooh, nice move. Yeah, I mean, this is a huge mistake playing this. No, it's not a huge mistake. It's just, so the reason why it's not a huge mistake is if this, then this, chase him back, and knight at c3, queen here. Why is this such? Why is this so bad for white? It's not clear why it's so bad, but apparently knight g4 is. So why can't you just develop normally? Knight takes e3. Again, I haven't quite seen why this is so bad, but apparently this is quite nasty. Still, white still has defensive resources, but at h3 maybe is one dangerous idea. At e5, just hitting that knight. Okay, what would you do there? You'd try and hit the knight, so maybe... Yeah, it's not clear. Okay, so going back to the beginning again. So actually, really nice play, I have to say, from Marlon here. Could have taken on here, could have reinforced, but okay. Let's go back to the live action. Let's just escape from here. Hi there, Crazy Home. I see you're in the
Hi.
Greetings. Okay, so we're watching Simba against IgorBugMate. Simba is 2-4 down. He has to win 4 in a row now. And glad you could join. So what have you thought about the game so far? I feel like Igor's changed his tactics. This is surprising. At h3, he should have gone at g4 first, probably. The white Igor's just... I think Igor's figured out Simba is attacking too hard, and he can just, you know, eat up all the material. And normally Igor is himself a player who attacks too hard. So just...
Here, what's happening is Igor has realized that Simba lacks experience in ZH. So, when in the last game, for example, right, he had to take bishop into f6 and press on, but he chickened out and played bishop h6, and after that he just got pushed back, right, knight f5 and g7, and black just showed up everything, and then obviously white was having a minus.
Yes.
So I think IgorBug is just using his experience to win against. I mean, look
Yeah,
at this
but
game again as an example, right? So
so yeah, because
White is just prepared to go back.
yeah. So the thing about Crazyhouse, you need every move must have purpose. But
Yes, exactly.
and Simba clearly has purpose. But what Igor's realized is he's got too much purpose. You need to also have a certain discretion. And in the first few games, what you saw is Igor sometimes sacked a bit too hard, and I think he's just cottoned on to I don't need to sack. I can just let Simba sack on me, and then let him run out of pieces.
Yes.
And this is the way normally Igor is
Yes. Yeah.
beaten, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree that he did that nice adjustment in his strategy, and then he just adjusted enough to. I mean, look at this game. I mean, Black doesn't have anything, so Black is playing chess, and White will play ZH. So Knight into F5, and he's just going to kill him. No,
For
here,
sure. Now, to be
there's all the
fair,
pieces in.
Simba's a very strong chess player, but if you're playing chess against a Crazyhouse player, like the Crazyhouse player's got all these pieces in hand, it's a tough ask. Yeah, and he's created lots of holes in his position in this game. So I like sometimes to count
Exactly.
the number of times the opponent is attacking a square versus the number of times you're defending it. And exactly, h6. I just showing on the screen is attack twice and only
I,
defended
I don't
once.
think h6 is a. I don't think h6 is a good move here. I would probably have preferred King G1 and Pawn G2 here, because Black could have probably taken Bishop into h6 and put an at f3 or at h3 kind of thing. I mean, at the present moment, Black didn't have anything,
True.
and
Yeah.
White is giving him
Yeah.
some
You're
chances. Yeah.
absolutely right. Yes. So you don't really White didn't need to make any trades. So this is a very important point. There was no need to allow even any trades. Yeah.
He could have just started, King G1 and at G2, and then started playing the game all over from
Yes.
scratch. There's
Completely.
no hurry.
There's no hurry. Exactly. Black has no pieces. He's not improving his position. That's absolutely true. Like h6 was weak, but he wasn't defending h6 next move
And
either.
see now Bishop at e4 is coming in. He's
Yeah.
just feeding him stuff. But it's a different matter that Knight f6 might be mate.
Yeah.
Knight
It might be
f6, Knight
mating. That's the only
h6.
thing.
But
Yeah. Yeah. So knight f6
I
time
mean,
knight.
White has too much stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So back
Oh man, he's giving.
back off. So hi there. I just want to say hello to Marlon, who's Hercules in the Twitch chat. And PKR says Marlon consistently dropped pawn in the opening. I saw some of that, but GD Howard played badly from this kind of position against Jan and Skefter Milos and others. Um, and someone's FHGSD says hello everyone. Yeah, and really glad to have Crazy Home with me in the Discord voice chat with me. Black resigned. Oof, he just had no material. So
He
real
just ran
pressure
off.
here.
He just ran out of bullets.
Yeah, he has to win 3 in a row now.
Is going to be at this point. I think we have to prefer Igor, because his math strategy is better, and he has adjusted nicely,
Yeah.
and he's not taking any risks, and mentally, and I think his game strategy is much better here at this point,
So they
unless Simba does something drastically different.
so they took a 5 minute break. I wonder what the ethics are of is someone allowed to say something to Simba in the 5 minute break? Like, um, just
I think generally it's okay. Generally, I think it's okay to take a break or just have some chat, and I think it's understood that when you take a break, I've seen people when during that break they open an engine and go over their games that they
oh
played earlier
yeah, I don't
to
like this.
see what.
Yeah, I don't like that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
Um, it's okay, but the thing is that you must understand that you're not doing anything which is unavailable to your opponent. As long as you
Yeah.
don't do that, it's fine, I guess.
Yes.
See, the idea of not using an engine is that it's not available to your opponent, right? But if you take a break and you go get a coffee and your opponent decides to use stockfish, I think you have yourself to blame. You valued your coffee over stockfish, right? So I don't think it's unfair. Nobody's cheating. And if you want to consult your friend, how you went wrong over a particular
Yes.
game, it's not going to help you in the next game
No.
directly, right? I mean, your opponent still need not play that opening variation at all. So it's
Yeah. Of
perfectly
course.
valid.
Yeah.
And if you're stupid enough to play, then you're just playing into somebody's hands. So
Sure. I mean, my own
nothing
personal opinion
unfair at
is
that.
while it's perfectly allowed, I think people just shouldn't. But yeah. So here you see Igor is just sacrificing a pawn on e2. He's going back to old Igor basically. I mean, because
I think now he can go for broke, yes, because he's leading.
yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I mean, Simba can just play at G3. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I'm not
I
saying. I'm not
think
recommending. I'm not even. I'm not recommending it. It's not a good.
Archie.
I'm not. It's not even a good move. But I'm saying White's just got a free pawn to do what he wants. Black really doesn't have any decent moves.
Looks like a good idea, but I don't know what's happening on G2.
It
I
seems
don't
safe.
think ordinarily.
Yeah, it seems safe.
Yeah,
It's. I can see what you mean. It's a little bit dangerous if Black gets a second knight. It's a little bit risky.
mm. Probably even bishop at D4 is okay.
Bishop d4, yeah, that's an interesting idea. So with another knight h3 type ideas. Although f2 is really well defended. The other point of bishop d4 is just shutting off this e-file, because this black king is just getting opened up down the e-file is the problem. Okay, takes e7 here, seems obvious.
Bishop at E4, the idea was that if you had taken knight into F6 check or knight at F6 check or something like that, you can take queen into, and then the G file is open
Yeah,
for rook into
absolutely,
G2. So,
completely. Yeah, rook g7.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not. Oh, there's a nice line there. Rook takes g2, king h1, rook g1 double check, king takes g1, then knight at h3 mate. Those sorts of ideas.
I think Simba is again toned down. You see that the switch that he did, right, with bishop at F8. He just decided to play safe, and now he's castle on the queen side.
It's fine, but White's fine though.
Yeah.
He needs
I
to
think
figure.
I like white here. Yeah, I like white here, given that
Wow, bishop at
yeah,
a8.
bishop a8.
I didn't think of that one.
Knight
Knight,
at
knight
a5.
at
See,
a5. Yeah, yeah.
knight at a5. Yeah, yeah. It's
Well,
going
the
good
one
for
piece I
black
don't
white.
like in White's position is the knight on h5. You might even just drop back to g3 and then everything's. But then you're worried about knight at h4 back.
Yes.
So that's the only problem. But yeah, knight g3. Ideas of taking f5 at some point. Just future ideas. Knight takes bishop seems reasonable here. I think you could even start. You could just do damage.
Knight into b7. Yeah,
I,
knight into
I,
b7 looks good.
I was thinking take the bishop and then take b7.
Uh,
I think this is good.
okay, okay. So he's dropping another knight on a5. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
This
why?
is really strong. Oh, this also
Okay.
works. Really strong.
Too many pieces.
Is there any kill shot?
Uh, at this point, I don't know what's good. I mean, anything can be played. I think white's moves are just flowing here. It's a nice position. Now queen a8 is coming.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice
Black
find.
has to be careful here.
Yeah.
Queen a8, knight at f6 to get a hold of the t7 square. Yep,
And
black's
is it
good.
Black just resigned? Oh, so I see a comment from
Mm.
Marlon in the Twitch chat. He says Crazyhome is a good guy. He and OK make a great team for sure. They did a stream of playing, I think, S chess against Oppa, which is on YouTube. And PKR said,
Nice.
"Oh, that's Crazy Home. Never heard his voice before. He's given me a lot of help improving, especially when I was like 2000ish. Thank you, Crazy Home," says PKR. And PKR says,
Welcome, welcome.
"Cool, although I'm not interested in S chess." Okay, so
The thing is that ordinarily I like to if I have some free time sometimes when I don't play, I have some friends who show. I mean, there are some people who show promise and they're trying hard to improve,
yes,
and
I should
if
just
I can
quickly.
help some way, I like that.
Yeah, I should also interrupt. It was actually I've done chats with Crazy Home, and they weren't S chess actually. They were Crazy House and Crazy House 960. And actually, the S chess stream was with Karagyalis. So that was so they're two different streams. So yeah, do check out the Crazy House 960 streams I did with Crazy Home. And just to say here, also here, Simba just needs to win 2 games to tie this up, and the match is still on, which is not inconceivable.
And I think Simba will have a psychological plus if he manages to pull back 5 each, because Igor would have just messed up a nice chance to play. Do you remember the time when Anand was playing Kamsky, and then um, I think Kamsky played, which was that? I forget the name of the variation in the Rai Lopez, where he played a very sharp line and pulled back. And then Anand went on to lose that match, World Championship candidate.
Yeah,
So
it's before
I
the
think,
time I was following chess actively, so I don't remember it.
yeah. So yeah, one has to be very careful when you play a match, because the condition is totally different compared to a tournament game, right? Uh, so it's just two people playing each other, so you have to be very conscious of what you allow the other person to do.
Yes. So just to say here, a bishop at g5 was much stronger than bishop at f6. So you could take back with the pawn even. The problem with here is you're giving a knight, and knight on f5 or e5 is just slightly awkward for black.
Yes, knight at f5, knight at d5, knight at g4.
Yes.
Yep,
So
it's
black,
looking bad here.
yeah, it's just a slightly awkward, and he could have avoided it with bishop at g5 rather than bishop at f6. So it's a very small thing, and that's why he's gone into the tank. How do I defend? Do I give up a pawn? Nice move to counterattack. I like it. But bishop takes knight. You go
I
to
think this is
yeah,
the part of the problem that Simba is wrestling with is that, there is this chess conditioning, and there is the ZH adjustment that he has to do, and it's very obvious that he's having some at crucial moments he's having a problem with understanding what to choose, and that's where he's lagging. Otherwise, he's playing well,
yes.
but his lack of experience is
That's what.
proving hard. This is what I was mentioning. You remember, okay, that when we were discussing some time back, I was saying that, the lack of experience of ZH skills can be very hard for a very good chess player, even though his chess skills may be better than the opponent, uh, because the experience of ZH just is too heavy.
Yes. Oh, I don't like this move from Igor. Just completely unnecessary.
He's gambling too much. Yeah, he's gambling too much.
There were
This is bad.
many good moves I was showing on the screen. Immediate at f6 looked interesting. Bishop at f5, pick up a knight looked interesting. The knight didn't really have anywhere to go. Okay, but here,
GSVC wants to play queen into f6.
yeah, it's a question here. What do you do?
Into f6 is a really nice move, because after that, white doesn't have
Has nothing. Yeah,
a semblance of attack.
just has a queen.
Yeah.
Pawn. So what's wrong with pawn takes? Okay, that's interesting.
He's played knight into g4. Wow. None of us saw that. Bishop h2.
Again, very.
Oh, I think knight into f2 check.
He's going for very forcing moves. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Knight at
Wow.
g3 is a mate threat. An idea. Uh, does it work? I mean, maybe it's too easy to defend.
Knight at f5
It
defends everything, but
it looks too weird. Like there's got to be something wrong with it. Like even queen takes bishop or something.
I think queen takes bishop is a little too ambitious. It'll be very difficult to play with those two knights and a queen in hand, and that weakness on f2 and h2 and g3. I think it's going to be difficult to give up a queen.
Yeah, I'm just saying it
Um,
might even be. Um, and Marlon says, "Are they cleaning the hotel room again? Crazy home."
yeah, you hear the sounds?
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Like it's good to hear you.
you know, he came with a vacuum cleaner, in fact. I just waved him off.
Oh wow! Oh, did you see that? Oh
I
wow!
don't,
That's a nice one. You had two
very
knights
nice.
and you got him. Oh my goodness, that was a wonderful comeback from Simba.
Yes,
So Simba made
this
history
is nice.
in the last Crazyhouse World Championship because he took 3 games off GSVC.
Oh, really?
And if
Okay.
according to
Beating
GSVC,
GSBC is tough.
oh yeah, and according to GSVC's memory of the match, he was in fact 3-2 down before GSVC rolled off the last 8 games. That was it was definitely a tight match.
It's already a space advantage and 1-0. GSBC says. I think he is fooling around with Simba because Simba is trying to play chess and okay.
Should
This
say
is, I think, standard theory until now so far. I like to play this variation myself with white.
yep. So knight comes back maybe. I was thinking knight comes back, queen
And the knight
e1.
goes on.
Yeah, knight
Yeah,
going back to
the
e5.
knight.
Yeah. Well
No, the
here.
knight goes on a5 here, and then everything falls
Oh yeah, you have to
because
take this, right?
white. Yeah, you just white just plays knight a5, and you will see that black has absolutely no way of keeping his position together.
No, as long as you find knight a5, yeah. Knight a. You. Oh, white
Pardon?
doesn't have a way. Oh really? So this is
Now,
good for black,
now
is it?
if knight. No, I'm saying it's good for white because
Yeah.
now if knight a5, if white had played knight at a5,
Yeah.
ninth move,
Oh, I
um,
see. Knight at a5.
b7 is falling, c6 is falling.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
You counterattack. Okay, I
and
see. I hadn't seen
this
that.
is a bad move. I mean, what white has done is bad actually, but still it's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it threw away large part of his advantage.
Yeah. I feel this is quite solid. This g3, f3. Now
Now
f6.
bishop at e4.
Yeah.
This is looking good for black.
Queen g4. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
No, I think this is still fine for white. We're gonna.
Fine, still
Yeah,
fine.
still fine.
Yep.
Um,
If he manages to get in f3, I think he'll be good.
I think knight f6 is interesting. Knight f6 takes.
I'm
If it were white's move here.
I am assuming that black will do something about it right now.
Yes.
So
Well, he does this.
this is very drastic. King f8, very drastic. I think f3 is putting the question to the bishop. Where do you want to go? And
You've got to be careful here because you can't sack the queen. Oh, you can sack the queen. Knight h3, just king h1. No, you probably can't. Bishop g2. It
what
looks
about bishop
dangerous.
h6? What about?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to play bishop h6 right away.
Yeah, so did I, and sack the queen, but I think it was dangerous. I like what Simba's done, actually.
Basically, at bishop h6, how does black defend g7?
So if he takes h6,
h6, queen into g8
queen
and
to
king into
g8, king
g8.
takes,
Okay,
and
f6
sacks
is
all.
twice protected.
Twice
Yeah,
protected, and
yeah.
it looks risky because bishop g2 is probably mating you.
Hmm.
That's why I think he's done it. Knight
knight
f5.
h3 and rook h1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
knight f5 probably comes here.
probably better technique is keeping the knight on e8 than f5. I don't know.
Again at h6 or rook h8 is another idea. Rook h8
At
block.
h8, yeah.
Rook
Rook
h8
h8.
then
Make
at
him use up another
h6.
piece.
Rook h8 blocks. Then at h6.
Because the knight can't move now.
Well, he can go. Yeah, that's true. But he can go another knight on e8 or f5. He's picking up another piece. Takes. Yep, take it, and then go knight
But now
knight
knight,
h6 afterwards.
knight
Knight
now I think
h6.
white should have played knight at h5.
No, knight h6 here, and how do you protect that bishop?
No, but knight at h5 was straightforward. It should have.
Oh no, I like this, but okay. But yeah.
Good, yeah.
And there might have.
How does black defend now? Okay, it's 5-5.
Yeah, he has to run. There's anything he can do is run, and
Only move is knight at f6, which is a strange way to defend.
queen takes knight.
Knight at f6 because king gets that e7.
Oh yeah, that's
piece.
true. Yeah. Queen takes pawn. Knight at f6. Trade queens.
This is
It's murder. It's complete murder.
5h. 5h.
So 5-5.
I was thinking the similar idea of just keeping the knight on h5, and then black is completely in a bind. I mean, there was nothing that you could move. So if you go back a couple of okay, they're starting their tiebreak.
They are indeed.
Are they playing tiebreak? Okay, the tiebreak is with the same time control, right? This is not the FIDE style.
Completely,
that, the time keeps reducing.
But
tough spot for Igor to be in, you know.
Of course, yeah. So the psychological edge. So you're thinking knight h5 here. I'll just show it quickly on the screen. Knight h5. He can't take because queen takes g8 is mate. He could still do the kind of run away sort of thing, but yeah, it's there's not much hope. Just pawn takes knight. Knight takes pawn. It's all over. Knight f6 maybe. It's not clear. I mean, bishop d6 takes.
Which was stronger? Which was stronger? Just
they're both
curious.
They're both completely winning. Yeah.
Okay.
One is h takes g7 is plus 46. No, they're both plus more than 20. So it would be unfair to say which is stronger.
So it's just yeah.
It's just a
matter of choice.
Yeah, it's a question of which one you can calculate faster. Okay, so game 11. So it's the way this. Oh, this is interesting. They're playing this again. Oh, and at f7, I felt this was good for black, and this was what happened in the very first game of the whole match, game 1.
Here, White had a very good move, queen at c8. I don't know why he didn't play it. I think he's tilted or he's not seeing his position. So if you look at instead of bishop into d7,
queen c8, yes, and queen d8.
Yeah.
Then what?
d6, pawn into c6, queen c8. Yeah, you can take f7. You can f7 check.
F7 check. You have to step up, and then it looks dangerous, doesn't it?
King e7, bishop into d7.
No, maybe bishop takes bishop first, knight takes, and then f7, because then you don't have the coverage. Oh no, you do. The rook covers. But yeah, definitely interesting.
But if you do that, then the rook is indirectly X-ray protecting the d8 queen.
Yeah, but then otherwise the bishop's indirectly protecting. So it's a dilemma. Okay, so yeah, a swap queens, queen at d8. Yeah, that definitely looks maybe almost winning. So anyway, back to the current game. f6, excellent move. Nice defense. I mean, I'm not sure about pawn at d5, but there's nothing wrong with it. This
is the problem with Simba, right? He makes these chess moves in between the game. And then he loses a lot of time with those kind of moves.
Well, so the thing about this is White only has diagonal pieces, and the king is actually protected against diagonals for now. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. It's fine, but White's going to hunt for a knight, basically. Yeah. Yeah. See, White's got all these diagonals. He has to really make sure his g6, e6 are strong. This is very unfortunate. I'm missing so much of the Twitch chat, so let me just catch up. So Iron Queen, hi there, Iron Queen IO. And Cole Alves says, I thought the CWC was going to be covered by Jan. I'm sure it will be, but he can't cover everything. HNYAA says, only the candidates. I hope Jan will comment along with Yasser. That would be amazing, yes.
I think part of the problem that Jan is struggling, I mean, not problem, I would say that I think his family commitments are keeping him away. Otherwise, I think he would have loved to play this as well.
And then I'm getting lots of love from Jack Peters 3311 saying, why is this 2100 Crazyhouse player commentating on Crazyhouse?
Yes.
Well, you haven't been following the Crazyhouse world, Jack Peters, because otherwise you'd know why.
I always felt that ratings were the wrong thing to go for. Maybe I should try harder to get a better rating. sometimes.
Yeah, I haven't been too worried about my rating. The only thing is if I can't play Elite Arena because I'm dipping under 2100, then I'm a little bit upset. Um, and that does
Yes.
happen. So yeah, he Rook f8 is good, defends the king. So again, you have to. White only has diagonal, so he has to really make sure you defend the diagonal checks.
I think there are a couple of ideas that White can use here. He needs a knight, so Bishop E5 check makes a lot of sense. Pick up a knight and then plonk it on H5,
And
right?
h5, yeah, indeed,
So,
we're seeing that now. But the knight can cover h5 at least. So just develop knight f6. Oh, he does a new
but
knight.
now a pawn at H7,
I mean, bishop takes knight is the problem, yeah,
or
because knight to h5 is the knight is
now
pinned.
now knight at H5 is pinned.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this is at f7. It's going to be either sack or you're going to get mated.
Yes. Yeah, very difficult for Black to hold.
Oh, sneaky. So if king takes rook, if you don't take it, you're getting mated on on either of those two squares. So you have to take it. And now steps back. Um, king comes back to e8. Knight takes knight is
H8 falls.
interesting, but maybe queen
No,
takes rook.
first H8 falls.
Yeah, the rook is falling. Is the
Yeah.
problem. I'm still
Stuff
struggling to see
falling
the
here.
mate.
I think bishop into f6 is quite simple and keeps all the threats on board. You can think,
Queen takes rook. Okay,
oh,
so
this is too greedy. Yeah,
but even here, just yeah.
things would have been much better, I think.
But black has no mate.
Anyway,
I
let's
mean,
see.
the f3 is covered.
Now, rook e7. Rook e7, knight g6 was an idea here. Rook into d8. This
Yeah,
is standard. Okay. Why is he giving the f6 knight for free? Okay.
yeah. Queen takes knight whenever he wants it. So if he steps up, knight here is a problem. Queen takes knight, blocks. Could
Okay.
just take.
Now black is
Oh yeah,
knight.
that's much better. Just cutting him off.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, what a game from IgorBugMate. Um, so Jack Peters, yeah, you're right. I'm not as strong as a lot of other players, but I've been doing this commentary gig for quite a while um, because stronger players aren't commentating, and maybe are more useful for weaker players. So maybe if under 2000s will really like appreciate the 2100 commentary. And to be honest, like most Crazyhouse players aren't. Um, I mean, I'm trying to encourage more players to play Crazyhouse. So and then I wouldn't. If there are more players and more streamers, maybe I don't need to stream.
I think the most important part is that what we are doing is more out of love for the game rather than trying to be very accurate. Uh, I miss a lot of stuff in my games, and I'm sure that's the same for most people at some level or the other. It would be ridiculous for somebody like Opera Vision or Katask or Jan Lee or any of these guys to watch maybe even a 2400 player, because if they hear the commentary, maybe they will have a good laugh thinking that what's he talking about. And I'm sure that for a 2400 player, when I speak or when Oki comments anything, then it'll be very funny. But then if nobody comments, I'll be waiting for Jan Lee to comment and nobody else. So
But
that's a little
a really nice move from Simba,
silly. Yeah.
hitting the bishop on h6, while also hitting f6. And then having said that, a lot of times I stream because someone like Oppa says, I'm uh, I really want to watch this match, but I can't watch it because it's too late at night, and he actually really wants to see my stream. So I get the opposite, from people like Oppa saying, actually, I really want you to stream this. And it doesn't really matter if my commentary's bad. They can, he can see for himself the moves I'm missing. I think
And
what's
it
much
works the
worse.
same way,
I think what's much worse is watching if my play is bad. That's why I don't play so much on my stream, because I don't want to hurt people's eyes with missing terrible moves and stuff.
Yes, but that way you're just sacrificing your rating and nothing else.
Yeah, so that's why I do commentary. Now I think White missed something here. I'm trying to work out what it was. Taking
Probably pulling back the knight was good. That the G7 knight had to be pulled back or something.
Yeah.
That
Well, he can still do that.
Did you see GSVC's comment? He with the knight on H5, G4, F3. He wanted the C3 knight to come to E2, so that would have been four in a four along the diagonal.
Oh, that's funny. Yes.
I think knight into F4 is very strong. Knight into F4 and then bishop E5. There is a threat of mate in one,
So say
and
it
you
again. Say it
eliminate
again.
that bishop.
I missed you. Sorry. Knight. Has he done it?
He's played knight E5 directly. Instead of this, if he had played knight into F4, I think bishop into F4 or queen into F4. If we've placed bishop into F4, bishop E5 would have threatened rook at H8. So and bishop into F4 is forced, knight into E5, a lot of tempos. If you're taken with the queen, still bishop E5 with the mate, not the mate, but there is a threat on H8, the rook coming on H8. I think a lot of good fun for white there.
Right. Well, here I
Yeah,
think
at this,
he's good. Yeah.
I'm talking about the 23rd move. The
Yeah. Yeah.
23rd move, yeah.
Yeah. So here the move was on move 23.
These are the kind of things that these are the kind of things I think which Simba misses, and
So which move are
that's
you
the sad part.
recommending?
So here on move 23, when Black has played Queen F7,
Yeah.
White plays Knight H5 into F4. If you take with the bishop at E5 threatens a mate in one
Yeah.
with
Of
Rook
course.
H8.
Yeah. So capturing the bishop. The
And if you take
bishops.
with the queen,
Yeah. Even worse.
and if you take with the queen, then you play bishop E5 and you're threatening Rook H8
Yeah.
again, and Rook into H7 and all sorts of things. So if you take with bishop into F4, bishop E5, bishop into E5, knight into E5 again wins a tempo
Yeah.
on
Of course.
the
Of course.
queen.
Yeah. Bishop
So
takes. Knight takes. Yes. So it's quite similar kind of
this is a
idea.
standard thing that any other ZH player would find fairly easily, right? So this is the sad thing that Simba misses these moves,
Yeah, but
but still he has a
this
good position.
is fine. This is really
Yeah,
fine.
bishop at E8 maybe.
E8 or G8, that's his decision. So rook E8 can be blocked.
Give up stuff, yeah.
There's also an interesting move, by the way. Queen H5.
Yeah, rook G8 is made, yes. Good way of distracting that queen. Okay,
Yeah.
he's threatening rook at G8, being very um, direct.
And then if you move the queen, maybe Queen G7 comes there, but surely there's some mate. Yeah. The point is Queen takes bishop even after that. So Queen H5 is actually killing. But yeah, okay, this is interesting too. Rook at G8 doesn't quite
Bishop
work
at E8.
because takes. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. So you're just getting to work.
This is what I'm talking about. He's just becoming so slow.
Yeah, it's fine though.
You know,
It's actually fine. He just.
you know what is happening?
Oh,
Knight at H3, knight at F3 wins the queen.
yeah. Opera also said Queen H5. Oh my goodness, he's getting the queen. That's dangerous. Queen takes bishop, double knight. Yeah. Oh, but you could take it, maybe. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't take it. Darn.
Leave it. You have to take it. Then knight at F3 and knight into G5. I like Black's position there.
Okay, so Rook G3. Suddenly it's not so clear. Only got one rook.
Maybe Maybe at G7 was good. At G7. Oh man, this is again messy.
I think this is still G7 is weak. As long as G7 is weak, yeah, it's all over.
G7 is weak. H7 is
Oh,
weak.
this is
But
all
what
over.
will
Yeah,
White do about
yeah, this is
this?
all over. Queen H6, Bishop
Queen
H6,
H6.
Bishop
Queen H6.
H6.
Yeah. Oh man, he just killed.
Okay, Queen
Oh,
G7
he's not
maybe.
got it.
Queen G7, but
Yep. Queen at G7. Bishop at D7.
Bishop D7, King here. Maybe just take a free pawn. That's gonna hurt.
Rook into F5.
Oh no, just bishop takes pawn because yeah, this is mate at C7.
At C7.
Yeah,
Yes.
strong. And there
Rook
are so
B6.
many mates you can't defend them all. Yes. So Simba fights back
So they are.
6-6. So they have to play 2 more games now. So you just keep on playing +2, +2.
I think they like playing each other. Yeah, I
Clearly,
think they like playing each other. They just want.
I did like highlight this match as a potential match of round 1 because um, I did put actually
You see
Igor.
that link? Sorry, did you see the link about the fantasy thing that you can predict the winners and stuff?
Yes,
Finisher has posted that.
yes. I haven't
It's a
done that
nice
yet,
thing. I
but
think
yes.
that's this idea.
So we have
Now
like a
people are gambling.
mainstream theory almost here. Knight takes knight's important there, isn't it? I think knight takes knight's important in that position. I don't play e4, e5. With ideas like knight takes knight,
The
bishop takes queen, knight f4, those sorts of ideas.
whole idea is that the f7 point is very
Very,
weak,
very
and
weak, yes.
you want to retain this bishop. Yeah, so you want to keep some stuff on e6 to block it off.
Yes.
Doesn't matter that I don't play this at all because I know that I can never keep up with the theory. But I understand, I think, some concepts about it, but it's
Of
beyond
course.
me to keep up
Yes.
with the theory.
I mean,
A couple of, I think, at the outset when I started playing Crazy Hours, I used to play e4, e5, and
this is a queen trap.
people
Bishop,
just used to make,
yeah, bishop e3 is a
yeah,
queen trap.
people just used to make.
No, it's not. Queen takes knight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm being silly. So bishop takes knight is just a straight up threat. So it's quite good move, defending as well as attacking. And also bishop at e... Yeah, he doesn't have the bishop anymore. Okay, no, shame.
It looked better to play the bishop on f5 rather than h5. I don't know personally because it keeps the queen hemmed in there, and it's pointing at h7 at some point. That might be useful.
Yes. So this is certainly uncomfortable for black.
It is uncomfortable, yes, but maybe black can move something like bishop on h7 or maybe king h8 because
I was thinking bishop e6,
white has no way.
but no, that doesn't work. Doesn't even work. Bishop takes knight.
It
Queen
works.
takes
It,
knight.
it works because g4 is hanging.
Yeah, g4's hanging at the end of it. Yeah. So instead, what does he do? He plays knight d4, and white takes it instantly. What's the
Yeah, that
idea?
was a bad move.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, it was just, yeah.
Do not understand it.
I think it was a clean miss.
No, I mean now the knight's
That's what it
defended.
is. Yeah, it was a good key piece.
Okay, and that's the other thing is you don't want to trade pieces along lines of weakness.
Yes, yes.
So bishop h7 here doesn't work. Bishop takes bishop. You're just giving white another bishop in hand. If anything takes, you're just
This
going to
is
take it. This is just
one
one.
zero.
Yeah, 1-0. White's
Yeah.
just going to win it. Knight takes whatever blocks. If you don't block, knight at g6 is mating, taking the rook at the end of the line. Knight, and you're getting a pawn as well, so you have a pawn for h7. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes... Oh, actually... Knight takes bishop, pawn takes... Yeah, I don't
I think
see
knight
it.
at f6 is also a move. Knight at
Oh, knight
f6 is also a move.
f6. That's also a nice idea. Takes, king g7. Okay, let's look back at the Twitch chat.
Now white can just move knight at h5. So trick here. The queen is trapped now. Oh. g5.
Okay, I just missed
Fair
that.
enough.
So takes. So he just goes for the sack, which I was thinking myself originally. And you have to take it, I think. Okay, let's think actually. Not sure. Maybe you don't have to take it.
You can't take it.
Yeah, if you take it... Huh. But black has no threats. I mean...
Yeah, white has to win this unless he does something really stupid here. I think he should win.
Knight at f7 seems fine.
I mean, you don't have to try anything. You can just put a bishop on g3. But if white wants to just close out the match in his favor, he should play bishop at g3.
Okay.
It's also good. I mean, there's a family fork, as we call it, on g6.
Yes. Okay, so we have to look for points that can defend that. So knight e7, knight h4.
Knight at e6 is also. I mean, knight at e6 is also there. Not that it's particularly useful, but
so knight h4 made a lot of sense.
okay. Knight at f3.
But now bishop g3 is a killer. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, knight at f3 check.
Just sidestep.
Knight at f3 check is possible.
Just sidestep. Just sidestep.
No, but I think it's going to be mate because there's a pawn which will appear after knight g6, knight into f8, g6, and then king h8, rook h7 mate. So nothing is working in for black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Simba's thinking. He does it. King h1 is coming.
No, I mean you can even take pawn into f3. That's what I was saying.
Oh, you can. Yeah, of course you can. But why? A king h1 is so much safer. But yeah, sure. You could.
Yes. Yeah.
You can take this queen
With
here.
the bishop on g3.
Black doesn't have a pawn, is what you're saying for g2.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. That's the problem. Otherwise, the standard knight h3 g2 kind of mate.
Yeah. You could take the knight if you're being really greedy. I mean, come on, this is silly. Don't take the rook. I mean, if you take the rook, then yeah, then Simba's very happy.
Yes.
So the one way you can lose a game.
No idea what both of them are doing here.
Oh, bishop takes knight.
Bishop into h4. Yeah, bishop into h4 is forced.
It's fine.
Okay.
Black just doesn't have anything here.
Knight g6 check.
So it doesn't really matter what you do.
Knight g6 check to just cover the f4, and then you take king into g2. Right. So
seems reasonable. This
no,
also.
this is unnecessary.
Whoa!
This
whoa.
is the difference. You didn't
whoa!
have to do this.
Whoa! What? What? This is it. This is mate. Is that mate? No.
Oh.
No. What?
Oh my! You blundered the knight.
There was knight. I was wondering if there were knight g1 ideas. That's what I was thinking.
Probably. But this is just a straight blunder. I mean, that's why you shouldn't be down on time so much. He's just giving up everything.
He doesn't have enough. Okay, this is just all over.
It's sad for him.
Yeah. So king is forced to h8. We're gonna have a
Was
look at
that?
that. See if Simba did in fact have a mate there. So going into game 14, and again it's Simba's in a must-win position for like a sixth time in a row in this match. He's come back 5 times.
Yes. He had this clutch of wins, 3 wins in a row, and then he lost one, and then he pulled back, and then again he lost one.
Yeah, so it's hard to see what knight takes bishop maybe. No, it seems like there wasn't anything for him, but maybe I was thinking there might be something with knight g1, but apparently it doesn't work. Knight g1, rook takes, knight takes rook, queen takes, knight takes bishop check. No, it's apparently nothing, completely nothing. So yeah, Igor was winning all the way there.
What I said, I mean, I think black lacked just a pawn. If he just had one extra pawn, I think something would have been possible there. Knight g1 was also not giving him any diagonals, right? So knight g1, rook into g1, knight into g1. He doesn't have any diagonals to give another check. Bert
Yeah,
is saying that tiebreak longer than the match itself.
Mugwort, yeah. So it's
Yeah, the way they're playing at it. Some interesting possibilities here.
So the rook is providing some interesting cover on the fourth rank here. It's not the most. It's not the most obvious defender because something like bishop g5 at any point, you know, the sort of chessy way of
bishop at h6.
Yeah, bishop h6. Just
yeah.
The rook is trapped, and that's inconvenient because that rook was your defender.
But rook into f5 will come now. Rook into f5 is forced, but rook into f5, bishop into h6. It's looking good.
Oh, yeah, nice idea.
I think then knight comes on f6 or pawn comes on f6.
Probably knight g4 first. Knight g4 first before. Okay.
This is looking. Oh, knight g4 check.
Yeah.
Wow, I missed this. Still, knight into g7 is very strong.
It is strong.
Maybe at f6 is good enough, you know. Ah, man. Where does he get the time to play a move like f2?
I like it, though.
I mean, it's good, but...
You know why I like it?
It's like super conservative.
Sure, but I think it's a good move. I think it's really good. He doesn't need to rush this, I don't think. Although I'd have preferred blocking off this g file. But okay, take a rook. Maybe. Take a rook and then take on g7. Maybe. But he takes the f.
I think bishop at... oh, man. Now he goes for rook.
Yeah, no, this is fine.
See?
As long as you're not getting mated, this is good. Knight takes...
See, knight at h3 check. King f1. Okay.
Yeah.
King f1.
He's just about okay. He's got it. The annoying thing is he can't take the rook because the bishop has just... Yeah, no, he can't take the rook. He just lost a piece by doing it. Oh, maybe he can, because then he takes the bishop next. Okay, I wouldn't have thought of that. So he's threatening rook h8 mate, by the way, so that knight has to be taken.
What's he doing?
I like it, though. It's quite patient, but I like it. So if ever g takes, he's taking the knight.
Keep control of the position. Yeah, he's trying to keep control of the position.
It's really good, yeah. I have to, yeah.
See, in this sort of position, it would have made sense to put a bishop on that b3 diagonal, b3 g8 diagonal, right? Because black didn't have any pawns in hand. So you could have played that and then played this, because then your pawn into f6 would have threatened a pawn into g7. So you're winning.
No, but I mean, I mean, this is really strong. I mean, not getting mated is strong. So while on the chat is saying, okay, is saying as long as you don't get mated, this is good, kind of thing. Yeah, this is. I mean, um, Igor's a dangerous attacker, but if he's not going to be mating it, he's going to sack quite hard on you, and controlling the position like he's doing here is good. So takes f6 at g5 is one idea. He's dying to do f2 sacks. Okay, if takes f6, maybe takes h6 though. So that's the only thing.
I think it's very important for white to play a move like bishop e6 check, and then proceed, because he has to close the f file, and then
closing the
only
f
his
file.
attack is effective.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Another knight. No. Okay.
Okay, knight e6 is coming.
Ooh, nice find. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, that's
There's
really.
a mate. It's a mate.
Where's
It's
the
a
mate?
mate. Knight
Oh yeah,
h6
knight
and
h6.
g7 mate.
Yeah. And I was thinking of the smothered mate, but yeah, g7 is easier. I was thinking rook g8 was also mate, but yeah, one move slower. Okay, so I think that was amazingly played by Simba. I liked it a lot. So 7-7. So I don't know if
We have an argument here.
Yeah, let's have a look.
GSVC, GSVC, and Mugwat, both of them arguing about who spotted the mate first.
Oh, okay.
But I think we can safely say that we spotted it first, because their typing took too long.
So yeah, so Stockfish agrees with you to go straight in with at f6 rather than at f2. Surprise, surprise. Although Stockfish does like bishop at f2. So at f2 is the fifth best move, and at f6 is the best move. Bishop at f2 is like almost as good. And the reason it doesn't like at f2 is bishop at g4 from white, hitting both
So
knights.
at the point where bishop g5 was played on 22nd move, what does Stockfish think of bishop e6 check or something like that?
Bishop e6. So it's fourth best move. It's saying it quite likes defending. It likes bishop at bishop b3 check. That's not defending. Oh yeah, so bishop b3 check rather than e6 check. Yeah. You got the idea. Yes. It just wants to check from further away for whatever reason.
Check in, and then if the king steps to h8, your idea is that pawn into g7 is going to come with check. And if you block with the knight, then I pick up a knight for when I want. If I need a knight, I can pick up that knight.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So it opens up more options for me.
Yeah, you have a knight at e6 sort of idea. Yeah.
Just a practical move. I'm not saying whether it is winning or not, but from a practical standpoint, part of ZH is having the option of getting a piece that you want. Like, for example, when you're playing Bughouse, you want to be able to capture a knight, you want to be able to capture a pawn when your opponent asks for it, when your partner asks for it, right?
Yes.
So in the same way in ZH, you have to keep your options open, so that if you suddenly need a knight, it shouldn't take you 3 moves to get it, right? So if you have the option open in front of you, the calculation becomes easier, the moves flow much easier. I mean, that's how I would look at it from a practical standpoint.
So knight
they're
d6.
taking a 15-minute.
They're taking a 15-minute break indeed.
It's quite reasonable considering that these guys are just going through hell. It's very easy for us to comment sitting here, but I think it's very strenuous and very stressful for both the players, given that it's been a seesaw battle and they've been sweating really hard on this. It's very hard fought.
There are issues with, can people help? Like, because it puts you in a kind of.
This is my take on it. Okay, let's see.
So I'm just showing.
What are you going to see?
I'm showing on the stream that queen at c8 idea in 3 games ago.
Oh, you have your Twitch screen up. Okay. If I open the Twitch screen, then I think there'll be an echo because I'm
Yeah, that's true.
on Discord and if I come on. Yeah.
Yeah. But am I allowed to tell Simba not to play that?
No, no. I see. The thing is that if they approach, I think it's okay. Also, I don't know how to picture it because it may lead to a lot of debate on what is right, what is wrong. But my feel of this is that if you're going to take 15 minutes, what you do with that 15 minutes is your private matter, right? No,
But am I, as
you
a
might
streamer,
go and
allowed to
call a
point out to Simba? I mean, he might be watching the stream for all I know. Am I allowed to tell him?
it puts us in a strange spot, right? Just think about it theoretically. If I am your opponent and I say that you can take a 15-minute break, you may choose to call Upper Vision, you may choose to call Janli, I may choose to call Katask. No, I don't know. I mean, anything is possible. Or we may call the strongest player on the planet Stockfish 10 and see what should be played, right? So it's entirely our private time, what we do with it, and I don't think it can be considered cheating in any sense of the word. Um, that's my take of it. So
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't like the idea of players looking at the engine in breaks just because, or getting help from people. But the fact is, we're in an awkward situation where we've got a 15-minute break, so one of the players might even be watching the stream right now. And then I shouldn't have flagged this up. That's very irresponsible of me.
I don't know, but I don't think it is immoral or incorrect. That's what I'm trying to say. That in principle, you can do anything that you want with this 15 minutes, and I think for your opponent, he has to think that okay, fine, he may have looked at that line, he may not fall into that trap, and if he is concerned, he should also open up an engine and look.
Okay, well, I'll post in the Discord.
This is my take, but then we can ask for opinion from other guys as well. See what they think. There's no hard and fast rule on these things, right? I mean,
At the moment, it's a break,
finally
so
the community.
and I've showed it on the stream, so I feel I should tell him in the Discord. So I'm just telling him, yeah. So I just told him not to follow the same line here because in case one of the players is watching the stream, it would be very unfortunate if they play that line again.
He's not suffering cramps, but suffering disgusting moves. Okay.
Okay, so because I said it on the stream, that's why I wanted to bring that up. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair if, for example, Igor was watching the stream and and then repeated that line. That was my reasoning.
Shall I type it out here in the Reacher's chat and see what the rest of the guys think?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Just as a discussion.
I won't discuss that more.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I mean, we're walking on very sort of precarious territory, and I realise that. I just don't want them to repeat that line because that would be unfortunate.
That's okay. Um,
Yeah, knight at g4 first was actually good because then, so it's white to play. Sorry, it's black to play. Yeah, black can then go bishop takes c1. Bishop takes c1, and if there's bishop at e3 ideas, so why can't you go bishop takes c1 immediately? Here, bishop takes c1 immediately falls to queen takes. Oh, I see. So if you go bishop takes, queen takes, that doesn't seem to, yeah. The rook takes bishop move doesn't seem to work, because a lot of moves work against it. just taking on c1, for example, is pretty strong. And then knight at g4 with the threat of bishop at e3. So if you go king f1, yeah, and the knight's both protecting you, and then you're threatening, ideas of rook f2 or rook h1. So PKR saying, is a 15-minute break allowed? If both agree, I don't see how you can forbid it. And GSVC says 5 minutes from unused Igor break plus 10 minutes from Simba break. It is okay. And Crazyhouse says, what do you think about looking at previous games with an engine or friend during the break? And Simba says, I think this is one of the main reasons to have a break, right? I think it is perfectly valid, by the way. How many games left? Analyzing plus eating are my reasons for a break, says Simba. Cool, fortify yourself, food for thought and body.
This is
To be
perfectly
honest,
valid, right? In the chess world, or even in
okay, so just in my defense for pointing out that move, I'm not pointing out like a way. If I were advising Igor and I gave him that move from the other side, I feel that would be incredibly unfair. I'm giving him a move that is still +4 for white. I was saying if you play that line, play the +4 move for white. Don't play the move that is literally just completely lost straight after the opening. That was my reason for like bringing that point up, because Igor might be watching the stream, and he might have that information for that for that +15 line. So that was my I'm not. If I specifically went to Igor and said, by the way, if you get this position against Simba, play this, I feel that would be quite unfair.
I think what concern you had is quite valid. I mean, none of us inadvertently also want to put anybody into a bad situation or put ourselves into a bad situation. Perfectly understandable.
Yep. Okay, so while we're in the break, well, let's just look at another of the games between G.D. Howard and Marlon, if we have time. So let's open it up. So game 3 between Marlon and G.D. Howard. Actually, Marlon won this game. So it's e4, e6, French defense. And notice how e4 is now coming under attack. Okay, and he defends it. So now it takes, and defends it. This defense doesn't work because this knight is pinned. So G.D. Howard cashes in and is now already a pawn up, and moves the knight away, and suddenly we have a huge attack on g2. Okay. So this is looking precarious. I'm like wondering, does even takes g2 work here? And maybe it doesn't, just because we don't have quite enough material. And then the other thing I'm thinking is, can we do anything like this? And I'm guessing we can't because this knight is pinned. But even just takes g2 seems tempting here for black. Okay, but instead black moves his bishop back to e7, so that shows clear intention of getting to work on e4. Takes, pushes. Now that pawn can just be taken. What's the idea? So again, I think, Marlon, you're giving away pawns far too easily. I mean, chess is a game of winning pawns after all. Sometimes. Okay, even if Crazyhouse isn't. Okay, at g3, okay, that's good. So I'm still worried about d4 and takes g2. Slight concern here. Attacks the knight, okay. So it's tempting to take the bishop, but then black opens up the h-file. Knight looks a bit miserable on h3, but at least this keeps f3 protected. So it's okay. Bishop here, bishop at g5 looks like a queen trap, and suddenly you win the queen. Okay, so black fell into a queen trap, and g2 is really weak. G2 is weak, but so is f7 maybe. So just looking at the engine really says get in on the dark squares, which I hadn't seen at first sight. Okay, so block up e4 looks reasonable. Yeah, so I was thinking takes g6 actually. Takes g6 and yeah, but I hadn't seen just the fact that the dark squares are so weak. White has 3 bishops all on light squares. Okay, so blocking seems actually quite reasonable. And now what do we do? Back off, but then the e4 is falling. Oof. So f3 is important, but now we have this weakness on this diagonal. So this actually looks quite uncomfortable for white. At least the knight's covering, but takes. This looks fairly uncomfortable. Bishop backs off. Bishop here. Subtle threat. Blocked. Takes. Queen takes. Oh. So we're threatening queen here. Mate still. Queen takes again. Okay, so the thing is we don't have knights, otherwise takes. And, oh, this actually is looking dangerous. d6. If you back off, the problem is bishop and queen are mating on the back rank. If you back off here, queen at e7. If you back, so he has to take it.
Okay, just sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Just having that conversation here. A lot of guys seem to think that this is a little. I mean, some of this territory is something which we need to clarify with Janli. I think that's a fair point. And if we are streaming, we shouldn't talk about the game until, or we should just delay it, or we should talk about it after the match, not during the match, even if there are breaks. I think we'll respect that for now, and then until such time that a clear verdict comes from Janli, because he's the organizer. I think we should desist from
Yes.
doing any past analysis until it is done.
Fair enough. So players have to, yeah, players have to have their. I mean, so players have to get their own help, as it were. The streamers are neutral, but to be fair, it was as a neutral streamer. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't walk into a +15 line, which one side knew about and the other one didn't. And the fact Simba knows that now is only a defense against a +15 line. It's still +5 for white. So I haven't told him anything like critical to help him win, but I've just told him something critical to stop the match, to stop the game being lost in a ridiculous way. So I feel I did, yeah. Although it's sort of, as you said, it's slightly suspect. It's trying to avoid something even more suspect, which is one of the players seeing my stream and executing exactly that move I showed on stream. Oh, so let's just look at the
That's okay, really.
the Twitch chat.
I don't think that there was any malintent behind what we were doing. Okay, so until we get clear understanding of it, we will just not do it, and then we will figure out later. Once there is I think there is a healthy discussion going on now with like, for example, Dr. Reason was saying that it's like an exam that you're taking. So in between, you should, even if you take a break, you should not look at the moves. I think that's a good point. Not what
this is my opinion.
So,
so what you're saying is exactly what I've been asking to be introduced as a rule, and I put it to Fishy in the last Crazyhouse World Championship. Players shouldn't be allowed to look at the engine in breaks, and unfortunately,
but how do you enforce that? See, how do you enforce that?
You can't enforce it. Right? This is a problem. So that's what all the people said in chat is you can't enforce it. So therefore, you can't enforce it. Therefore, we can't make it a rule. That was the response I got. So I would much rather.
Make a rule.
Yeah. So if I.
Yeah. So
if people.
It's like saying that you shouldn't do this, but everybody can do it. So like people have alternate IDs, people have access to other friends who can open their ID and see. People can go anonymously and check it. You know that the possibilities are endless, right? I mean, people could have
Well,
listened.
unfortunately, look what's happening here. By the way, guy. By the way, is we are seeing this line. We are seeing this line
Okay.
repeated, which is not surprising. If either player looks at engine, they're going to realize that that they were playing a disaster in this line. So I'm very glad. I'm very glad that we are. I'm very glad that we are seeing this because this is still +5 for white, but at least it's not +15 and game over. So that we have a game. So I feel this is great. So just for
I
fun.
think
So actually, did notice that
so. Like, I think,
Igor made a mouse slip there,
he's,
and Simba allowed him to take it back. So that's great as well. Good sportsmanship.
and see, we are not trying to kill anybody or do something very competitive here. We are just trying to have fun, and I think as long as all of us understand that and we play it in good spirit, that's the best way to
Yes. By the
do
way,
these matches
but
or any game.
just on that point, did he miss Queen at C8 again?
He's going to miss it even if he plays 20 games. I think. I don't know. I see now queen at h5. I don't think Igor is going to miss that. Queen at h5. Oh my
What's
god.
Queen at H5 do?
Then queen into h3.
Oh my
So why
goodness.
just
My
free
good.
pawn like that?
My
It's a
goodness.
standard move. Uh,
And now it doesn't. Well, now it's more double-edged because now there's G takes H3. So Marlong says, I've gone as far as I can with Crazyhouse without improving my understanding of chess. Now that theory is strangling the game. To be honest, I expect to be overtaken by more talented players as the game gets more popular. But I've been around 2000 for a long while, and I haven't come this far just to chuck it in. I thought that writing puzzles would help, but I now regard puzzles as a blind alley. So yeah, as we discussed, Mo, when looking at your games, it was um, throwing away pawns too easily. That sort of throwing away little, yeah, little sort of sacking a little bit
and
too
you
hard. So you
and
should
you
say,
see the sorry,
no, you
I'm
go
just
ahead.
interrupting you. I was just noting that Simba is playing ultra safe. That the G6, and he's just shoring up his king side and playing very
This is terrible. That was
solidly in this game. Yeah.
disaster from Igor. Rook g3, just hanging the bishop. Even rook takes. Yeah, that was a. I mean, this is a disaster. Yeah, and to say that g6, just simple g6 was strong. You didn't need at g6 in that position earlier. G6 was fine because the bishop covers h6. Like it's a bit
Mhm.
weak, but I think it's fine.
I think he's just trying to play ultra safe, and he doesn't want any holes whatsoever.
It makes sense. This is it.
Absolutely no place for white to drop his pieces. Um,
I still
I
don't know
think
what.
black is comfortable playing that.
It's still difficult though. I mean, maybe rook e8, so you get a little bit of initiative. But black is.
Okay, the other funny thing that happened in this game is there was a take back also.
Yeah, I
Take
know, I
back
know. I
asked
was.
and take back given.
Yeah, I was mentioning Igor mouse slip d6.
Okay. Which move was that? On move four.
Yeah,
Okay.
instead of d takes e6, he mouse slipped d6. Yeah, and now
Okay. Okay.
that was a creative move. Knight g5, just throwing away another piece. Creative though.
He wanted to protect that
I
d5
know, I
in
know.
an
It was
indirect
nice.
way.
I mean, it's a nice idea, but it doesn't. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a nice idea, but it doesn't really work. But it's a nice idea. It doesn't work because it's just giving too much material. And right, the key here for black is guard e6, basically. Oh, nice
Oh
find.
my. See.
Ouch. Just when white sacks so much material, you just get another one. Yeah, as long as e6 is covered, white is safe, basically. White only has diagonals. Yeah, this is painful now. Bishop takes knight.
I would have preferred rook into e3 here, considering that black had so much material. Rook into e3. Now rook into e3 is definitely possible. Rook into e3, pawn into e3,
Yeah, you are
f2
losing.
check, knight at e4 check.
So it works, but
Uh,
you are losing your one defender of e6. But it works. As long as it works, it's good. PKR says, I don't like takebacks for any reason in a competitive match.
We have the most controversial match of the year.
I don't know. I think it kind of spoils
I
the
think
match.
rook into e3 is definitely on.
For a mouse slip, I think it spoils the match. I made a blunder against PKR, but it wasn't a mouse slip. It was just a terrible move. So no, I think for a mouse slip, the player can offer a take back. There's no problem. So rook into e3. I like knight takes e3.
Rook into e3 is threatening mate in 1. 2.
Yeah.
At most.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. Sorry, I'm being utterly. Yes. Is it? Where's the mate into?
At d2, the rook e1 check, at d2, so on and so forth.
Hang on. After pawn takes rook, though. After pawn takes rook.
d2 check.
King d1.
d1, knight in king d1, rook into f3 is possible, for example, or even queen into f3. Check, and then you're getting mated.
Well, we're going to see it. I'm not seeing it still. Queen f3, rook f3. So I was thinking knight. I mean, I had similar ideas, but just knight e3, knight takes e3 first, basically, because you have another knight in hand, so it's probably fine. Knight takes e3 now. There's another knight in hand. We don't have pawns. That's the only problem. Yeah, so I don't.
Maybe a knight into b2 is simple, yeah.
Yeah,
and then you. The
bishop
other
takes
knight
rook.
on
Bishop takes rook is always
c4.
works. If you ever go to e1, yeah, bishop takes rook. That's nasty. So yeah, so what's the finish? Huh.
Where we lack.
I don't like the fact that e6 is not defended here. So I quite like the moves that defend, like bishop c4 defending e6. Okay, but this is interesting.
This is just giving up too much. Okay, oh, nice idea. At d2 is coming. But then king again goes back to. Yeah. Oh my, this is.
Yeah, bishop takes
bad
rook. Yeah,
no,
bishop takes rook. This is killing, and the queen.
Here, definitely this is going to be mate. Okay, rook e1 mate. No, queen h3 and rook e1 mate. Bye.
Yeah, queen h3 blocks him off, and rook e1 is checkmate. Okay, nice.
Queen h2, queen f2.
Ah, yes, yes, that's also nice. Very nice. Okay, so 8-7 to Simba.
So Simba is pulling ahead. That's what I said about Igor not, playing that match, pressing on when he had that lead. It's very difficult psychologically to come back from that kind of a situation. Having a lead of 3 or 4, I mean, he was just half a point away from winning the match, right? So
yes,
he lost 3 in a row. It's pretty hard.
Katask and GSVC want this match to go on forever, so they're saying go Igor. And Ludo King is saying, why is it a championship match between 2100 rated players? Oh my goodness, so you don't get it. This is just the first round.
I think a lot of people don't understand that the Crazyhouse world is populated with very strong players, and all of them enjoy the game as much as any other kid. And there's always participation. Even if I think an 1800 player was playing, still we would see a lot of people watching this, and this is prestigious for us, right? I mean, this is the world championship for us, and definitely the community will watch these matches.
Yeah, it's a sort of like it's not all about the big players playing. Let's put it that way. You can just go queen g3 here, although it's more risky. Yeah.
I think another thing that I would like to point out is that the Crazyhouse world is a little lopsided in the sense that a 2100 player or a 2000 rated player in ordinary bullet chess or blitz chess is actually not a very rare kind of player, right? I mean, maybe you will find 20,000 people with 2000 and above rating in the standard bulletin blitz. But in Crazy House, above 2000 means that you're already in the top 300 or 400 in the world active players. So it's not such a un- like difficult thing to watch somebody who's playing 2000. You can see good games. Otherwise, if you just want to see 2500 and above, you will see only 10 games or maybe 20 games a day. So
Yes.
that's it.
So taking obviously is a mistake here on d3 because it advances white's pawns and gives white more control in the center. So you have to try and think, how can I improve my position without... Ah, and he does
He didn't listen to you. Nobody listens to you. Okay.
it. You can go in. You can go in on g7
This
now if
is.
you want to.
No, this reminds me that when Madeline was playing, all of us were screaming, saying that just don't drop the pawn on e5, don't drop the pawn on e4, and the moment we say it, the next move
Yes, unfortunate.
we drop it. So
Yeah, so that was
it
for you,
was.
Marlon. Yeah, your
It's
match
kind.
against you were dropping pawns too easily, and pawns are the soul of chess, as some chess player once said.
I think one of the players who drops a lot of pieces is. Have you seen Colossus? Colossus play.
Yes, yeah.
He drops a lot of stuff, and I have been foolish enough sometimes to take it for granted, and I just keep. I go on this, like a kid going after candy. I just start picking up all the stuff. I've tried that sometimes with him, and suddenly I get mated.
Okay, so here
So
there's a very
Go, 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 Simba.
bishop at g5. I think just take it slow, because you could say go in on h6 f6, but I think bishop at g5 is the best. Just take it easy. But he's got an interesting approach. He wants knight takes h7. What a weird idea, because there's no way of defending h7. Oops, 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 oops.
Oh, this works.
Queen takes knight. Bishop takes knight.
No, knight takes bishop.
Oh, knight takes. Yeah. Oh, hi there, Legion. Someone's very quiet.
I think Legion is on mute,
Yeah.
and
Someone else is there, but
everybody's
very
choosing to
quiet.
talk.
Yeah.
It's me. It's
Legion is
Ferenc.
not unmuted.
Yeah. If you could talk a bit louder, that's all. That's wonderful. Okay. Oh, it's hi there,
Variants,
variants
how are
only.
things?
Greetings. So yeah, so just what happened here? Yeah, he loses the bishop, comes back, he loses another piece, but he does have some initiative still, and he always has a rook if he ever wants it as well. So it's still interesting. It's really interesting.
I think
No,
Simba
I
will
think he
win
was.
this.
Yes, it should. He should. Into G5, isn't
No, but
that a
he will take
piece?
h3 and then f3.
Knight into H3. Ah, knight into H3. Yes.
Oh, knight takes h3 is a nasty. Oof.
Knight into H3 is king H2, right? So what happens after that?
He takes a queen.
I mean, queen to G5,
Queen
knight
g5.
F3 check. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, come on, let's give it to Igor for playing this incredibly well.
Take f5 maybe.
Take f5, says VO.
The, here's another creative solution. Simba should offer a draw.
Takes f5, but knight f. If you ever get the queen, knight at f3 is a mate. Is the problem? So you can't do anything. You have to defend. If queen f5 takes,
Queen F5 and
no,
knight E7. I think that's a good spot by variants.
no, it doesn't work because knight e7 you just take it. It doesn't work at all. No, no, knight f3 is
Oops.
mate. It's all over. So that
Oh,
was a
Queen G2
mistake.
mate.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah,
Queen G2 mate.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's why queen takes knight was a bit suspect. But then what else to do? That's the problem.
There are too many pieces around the white king there.
So 8 games all, and the match goes on.
It's like playing each other. Have you noticed that both of them were missing queen at c8 for a long time in this variation? Okay, he's left.
So actually, if we look at the last few games, a lot of them went with white. So it's 5 in a row went with white, and then the last 2 games both went with black. So it's like we've had
Now again he goes with.
We've had 2
See,
breaks of
he
serve.
sees. He sees bishop g4, but he fails to see queen h5 and queen into h3. It's very strange kind of madness.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I hear you perfectly, Legion. Loud and clear.
Beautiful. Wasn't working, I think.
Were
Hey guys.
Were you talking
What
to
a game
us?
from
Igor.
Yeah,
amazing game. Yeah, I mean, really amazing play. It looked like he was under pressure that last game, but really, really wonderful play. He's a talented player,
Yeah,
for
agreed.
sure.
Legion, I was just saying that, in all the games that this variation has been going on, whenever black puts a pawn on h3, white doesn't play queen h5 and queen into h3. I don't know for what reason.
Not sure why.
Well, this is strong from black here.
I don't know why he keeps going for this opening. It seems so bad.
So it is +5, but I think, I mean, without looking at engine, I think at f7 is bad. Just sacking a pawn is bad. If I just go back to the beginning, this is fine. But just sacking a pawn, you don't just sack a pawn like that. There's no point. Okay, and the key
Which pawn?
The pawn on f7. He sacks a pawn on
yes.
f7 to get an attack, and the key for black
Yeah.
is guard the knight check, and guard e6 check, and you should win. I mean, that's it. Queen takes pawn is fine. Knight e2 takes rook is a nasty idea. It's a nasty idea because white's going to have back rank issues with only, although he does have knight swinging in to attack the queen. I'd say just take the rook and put a rook on the back rank. It's just,
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. I was thinking just going on pawn h3.
Yeah, that works also.
Going for dark squares.
I mean, knight takes rook.
Now we have to take the rook.
He might go knight d4, attacking the queen, but it's not fast enough. I think you just go rook f1 now.
You drop a pawn, I think. Like on e2 or... Yeah, it's not fast enough.
Yeah, rook f. Well, it's not clear. Rook f1, knight takes queen.
e2
rook takes
is not so good.
See, white only has queens.
Legion.
Yep.
The problem with that e2 is knight into e2 is possible because that queen h5. See, having that king open like that's the problem. Queen h5 and queen into
e2
e2
is too
pitches back
slow.
that knight.
E2 is too slow. You're just.
I'm not sure I like queen h5 because then you get bishop g6 and you have pressure on c2.
Okay, rook d1.
Missed it completely.
This is
Rook
perfect.
d1 or
rook
rook
d1 is
f1.
mating. I mean, it's so hard to defend because white only has queens. You can't defend with queens.
But it still has the knight into e2, right?
Yeah, rook d1 I'm not sure because bishop covers the rook on c1.
And knight into e2 is still on, right? So somehow both are blind to that queen at h5. I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Queen h5. Yeah. Queen h5, and you could do something. Okay, I'm sure rook e1 is good. So rook e1, you said knight takes e2. Knight takes knight. Rook takes rook.
Queen h5.
Knight
check.
at f3.
I'm just saying it's a practical move. So
I think knight takes knight wins. Knight at f3.
Oh my, rook into d1.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? I mean, knight f3.
This is not good. Now this is losing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is very good for black.
Very good, yes. Takes.
I think
At
there's a
g2.
mate.
At g2 here, maybe.
Yeah.
If you
There should
don't,
be a mate here.
if you don't, if you take it, you're just losing a whole rook. Okay.
Wow.
Bishop,
Wow.
or what do you want to go? Bishop. It goes to the bishop. He's trying to
you
run promote.
and GG.
Yeah. And then rook.
Rook c1 check. Rook c1
Oh,
check.
nice.
Queen d1.
X-ray. X-ray. Yes.
Oh man, what are these guys doing? Oh.
Probably works. It's a sort of chessy solution.
Yeah, you can take that. So.
Yeah, queen takes rook and 2 rooks mate.
Bishop at c.
Queen takes
Bishop
rook
at c1 check.
and 2 rooks on the
Yeah,
back
queen
rank
takes
mate.
rook is good.
Queen takes rook and rook e2, rook e1 mates.
Yep. Tatask is GM. See, he promoted himself. You know, there's a chat going on here on Regis about are you an FM, are you a GM, are you an IM? It's nice fun.
I don't see the mate yet. Okay, rook g4 is mate, isn't it?
Rook b4, you mean?
Rook
Yes.
b4, yeah, rook b4 is mate. Yes. Okay, so he's found it.
Oh man,
But that doesn't.
I don't know what.
It
Now
makes me.
c4. Now pawn c4 should have
Knight
been played.
c5. Knight c5.
No, even rook
Oh, yeah,
b4
knight
is still on.
yeah, that's
If you had played pawn c4, king c2 would have come. Yeah.
Oh my! Is he taking
This
the
guy's
bit?
doing.
I think.
Okay, he wants to play rook into b5 and then mate.
White resigns. Okay. It's like, are you teasing me or something here? And IMC Jev says, nice, Legion in voice. And Legion in the house says, Marlon, see. Okay.
This match is going on for quite some time now, right? It's already.
So 3 blacks in a row.
It's
So
going to be 18.
indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
We've
It's going to be
had
18 games.
18 games if Simba can close out as white, yes.
Yes. I was going to say that. Yeah, it's a big if. This variance only, no theory? Is he saying isn't F3 theory? I thought he didn't know any theory. I am already out of theory.
Well, F3 is a theoretical
I
idea.
usually get out of theory on the third.
I don't know theory, but I know
Okay.
theoretical ideas.
I usually.
And F3 is a theoretical idea, that's for sure.
Because for me, theory is somewhere ends around third or fourth move, and I think I should learn to play the rover like Legion does.
Yeah, that's great theory. Doesn't get any better than that.
At least it counts as driving your opponent crazy, you know.
So the one thing, E3 is a weak square in White's position, because it might be tempting like to take the knight, put a knight on H5 or something like this, but E3 is too weak.
Maybe you take c6 maybe though.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
you keep e3 protected?
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, this works too. Now you don't give any bishops. But yeah, that's a good point, that bishops are always dangerous in that kind of way.
For sure.
Especially in the French.
Legion, are you a French person?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Well,
that's why
from
you
Switzerland, but we talk of French in Switzerland.
So he wants at f6, by the way, because takes, and bishop at e5 is killing. And now e3 is protected by the bishop, actually. So when did that happen? It was always protected.
So variance only is prophesying that the end is near.
I mean, this is...
Yeah, knight takes e6,
this
that's
is
GG.
painful. Yeah, no, this is...
Oh, mate in 2.
Mate in 2. Same mate. We've seen the same mate before.
The same mate.
Same mate.
Yes.
Same mate.
My goodness. We have a
Oof,
repeat.
GG.
And that's it. Simba's won. Yes,
Wow.
he says in Discord chat. He's celebrating already. He's so happy. Igor's still
Oh man.
contemplating, but that's a nice mate. Vamos, says Legion Destroyer. Go the Netherlands, says Oppa. Why does Legion have a Spanish
So
flag?
it's
So Legion, you have to answer that. Why do you have a Spanish flag? I think people should have the flag they want to,
yes.
right?
Why do I have a Spanish flag?
Yeah.
I have a Nigerian flag, I think, right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for some time, yes.
Because I wanted to play with the Nigerian team
Yeah, why
in
not?
the battle teams.
And I think that's the nice thing, right? There are a lot of players from Nigeria, and they conduct their own tournaments and they play it, and there's a lot
Yeah,
of
that's actually great for the community.
That's true. Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Okay.
No, I support
Like,
full time.
So congratulations to Simba, and thanks to Crazy Home for joining me and Legion Destroyer for joining me to give commentary.
Thanks. Okay.
And Variance Only who popped
Yeah,
in.
thanks for the stream.
And if they want to add anything else, just.
I think it was a very hard fought game, hard fought match. Nice watching it.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes with 20 minutes break, so it's a 2-hour match. Quite intense. Great match.
Legion, you were saying something when I cut you off.
Sorry.
Sorry? You're
you were
cutting
saying
a little
something?
bit.
So did we
you were
cut you
saying
off?
something, I think, when I
any
interrupted.
last words, Legion?
No, just GG.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Okay, so just like the standard sports interview.
Any last words?
Any last words? Just some mundane.
Simba for
Just some mundane.
number 1.
Yep. And Variance Only says he was trailing 5-2. Yep, indeed. So he came back 3 times, and then he was 6-5 down, 7-5, 7-6 down. So he came back 5 times from pressure situations. And then won as black, and then Igor came back from a pressure situation. So, and finally, took it 10-8. 10-8. Amazing score. So, Simba continues to make Crazyhouse World Championship history. Okay, this is OK signing out.